My name's Henry Ferguson, and this is Common Weather Terms. The lowering of body temperature due to passing of lower temperature air is wind chill. Wind chill affects both the human body and inanimate objects such as, windpipes and stuff like that, and, exposed human body. It can have effects such as, say the temperature is -5 degrees and the wind speed is like 20 degrees. If the wind speed is 20 degrees, the actual wind chill temperature, what it feels like to you would be -30, which is extremely dangerous and can cause hypothermia, frostbite, etc. And historically low wind chills, fun fact, was on Mount Washington, not Mount Everest. It was -36 degrees Fahrenheit, that's the actual temperature, but the wind chill was -90 degrees. Boom.
Alright, so what is the heat index? The heat index is what the temperature feels like to the human body when humidity is combined with air temperature. This is important because when the body gets too hot, it begins to sweat or perspire to cool itself off. When it perspires and evaporates off the body, it cools it down in return. Sometimes you feel colder in arid conditions because the humidity is decreasing due to your increasing rate of perspiration. The formula for the heat index is very long, so we're not going to get into that.
Give you an actual temperature and then a feels like temperature. This feels like temperature is always much higher than what the actual temperature is. This feels like temperature is what's known as the heat index. The heat index is mainly based on two things, the actual temperature and humidity. What is humidity? Well, humidity is a general term that's used for the amount of moisture in the air. This is usually expressed in terms of relative humidity or as a percentage. Relative humidity is the percentage of moisture in the air compared to the maximum amount of moisture the air can hold at that temperature. Warmer air can hold more moisture. Therefore, in the summertime, the air is holding much more moisture than it would be in the winter. How does this relate to humans? Well, more moisture in the air slows the amount of evaporation. Evaporation removes moisture or sweat from our skin, which also removes heat, which cools our body. With high temperatures and high moisture, we can sweat, but we're not able to remove the heat from our bodies. Our internal body temperature increases, which can lead to such things as heat cramps, exhaustion, or heat stroke. The heat index was developed from a mathematical formula. We usually see this as a chart. For example, with the actual temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit, coupled with a relative humidity of 60%, this creates a heat index of 100 degrees.
Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. If the air is humid, then there's a likely chance of precipitation, fog, or dew. Humidity mainly depends on water vaporization and condensation in the air, which in turn depends on the temperature. The hotter the air, the more water vapor it can hold. Humans tend to find that the perfect relative humidity is 45%. Some people use humidifiers and dehumidifiers to increase or decrease the humidity in a certain area. There are two ways to measure humidity: relative humidity and absolute humidity. Absolute humidity measures the amount of water vapor in the air regardless of what the temperature is. And warmer air can hold more water vapor. Relative humidity measures the amount of humidity as a percent, depending on the temperature of the air.
Excuse me, sir, but it's not very hot outside and I'm perspiring like crazy. Could you tell me why?
It's because the relative humidity is so high, even though the temperature is not super high, because of the relative humidity, it appears much higher because you can't sweat, you normally can.
Thank you. You taught me so.
So dew point is the point which depends on the pressure and the temperature of the air, where the air is just so saturated with water vapor that the air can't hold it and it condenses directly into solid objects. When it's compared to relative humidity, it's more frequently seen as an accurate way to measure it because it's an absolute measurement instead of a relative measurement. When the air has reached a dew point temperature at like a particular pressure, the water vapor in the air reaches equilibrium with the water, with liquid water, meaning that water vapor is condensing at the same rate which liquid water is evaporating. So when you wake up early and you see dew on the grass, those are small water droplets from the air that have condensed. But soon, once the sun comes out and the day heats up, all those water droplets will quickly evaporate away. And another fun fact is when a dew point is above freezing, you'll see water droplets, but when it's below freezing, you'll see frost. So you like see like a bunch of frost on your grass and like your house, that's from the dew point being below freezing.
Interesting, sir.
Very interesting.
In conclusion, wind chill is a lowering of body temperature due to the passing of lower temperature air, and is always lower than the air temperature when the formula can be used. Heat index is when the temperature feels like the human body when humidity is combined with air temperature. Humidity is the amount of water in the air, present in the air, and it is usually causing precipitation, fogginess, or dew, etc. And lastly, dew point is the point at which varies upon pressure and temperature, where air is so saturated that the water vapor jumps straightly into a solid object.
I can't see anything. There's fog everywhere. Why?